Oh, thank you, ladies. Nice welcome from the cheerleaders from Central Dauphin and Central York. Always there to support the team. A team, by the way, that is going to begin defense of their 2022 5A state championship is Bishop McDevitt. And you know McDevitt is ready for a repeat of last year as you look at a touchdown from Central York. A little over 250 days ago, the Crusaders won their first state championship since 1995. And before we get to McDevitt's game against Mount St. Joseph, Lindsey Barna is at Landis Field, where Central Dauphin takes on the Panthers. Lindsey breaks down the big school doubleheader.
I'm starting with a tradition I absolutely love. The home cheer team Central Dauphin giving Central York a welcoming gift. To the action on the field, the Rams' first drive, the ball comes out, the Panthers get the turnover. On Central York's first play of the second drive, quarterback Brooklyn Nace hands off to Jules Goff. The pick commit looks like he's down but comes out of the cluster 50 yards for the first score of the game. 3 plays into Central Dauphin's drive, quarterback Kieron Plummer rolls out and finds Mateo Crummel. You know that song, Wide Open Spaces. He says, see you next Tuesday for 70 yards, tied at 7. Central Dauphin! Central Dauphin! On the ensuing drive, the Panthers handed off to a speedy Goff. Look at that cut action. Central York goes up a score. Next drive, Rams on a 4th and 1 with the ball tipped in the air. Saxon Shuchanek makes a diving catch to keep their drive alive and leads this to punch it in 2 plays later by Aiden Johnson. Very high-scoring game. The Panthers take this one for the York Adams, 45-35. Over to Bishop McDevitt. Awesome new signage to show off last year's 4A state championship. The Crusaders lead 6-0 at the half. Mount St. Joseph gets 2 quick scores towards the end of the third. Winston Watkins to Nick Barnabé. I like that last name. Then on a McDevitt fumble, the Gales run it back for a touchdown. Skip to the 4th quarter where the magic begins to spark for the Crusaders. On a 4th and 21, quarterback Stone Saunders to Rico Scott to keep the drive alive. The very next play, the dynamic duo once more within 2. 2-point conversion soars high. So McDevitt trails by 2 with 9:10 left in the game. 4 minutes later, Saunders and Scott connect again. The Crusaders hold off a final drive by the Gales, 20-14.
It's just going to help us. I mean, you play a team like that, that's a really good football team. They're huge. They have good skilled kids, good quarterback. Like I said, 2 defensive great ends. They had real good secondary. So to come back, I mean, that's only going to help us later on in November and December. So it was good for us.
Just like Coach Wechter said, it's a long season, but nice to start 1-0, just like you want to do every single week from this point out. Bishop McDevitt has another difficult opponent next week against DePaul Catholic on the road in New Jersey. Lindsey Barna, Fox 43.
All right, thanks, Lindsey. Can you imagine a rivalry so intense, so fierce that the end result and the very first game of the year dictates whether or not the season is a success? I give you the River rivalry. Columbia on one side of the Susquehanna, Eastern York on the other, circled on the calendar with every rep in training camp focused squarely on beating their rivals. This year version takes place in Wrightsville. Quinn Bramble for the Golden Knights is going to give it to Ethan Schrignoli. And they're just chewing up the field all night long, are the home team. And look at this, the tackle knocks off the helmet as they just keep going right up the middle. Physical play. And then Eastern York gives it to Nushi Valenti. He scores, extends the lead to 40-0. Flash the final. Eastern York with a convincing victory tonight, 46-0 over Columbia. Well, the 2023 season is just getting underway. You can follow all year long at our Frenzy website. Frenzy pregame stories, wired up with area coaches, top 5 plays, coaches interviews, and of course, all of our highlights can be found at one convenient location, fox43.com/HSFF. Football season has arrived in full force. Plenty more still ahead, including a return to the Dogs for head coach Ron Miller. How West York performs in their opener against Elko, and York Suburban hosts the nightcap of the York Rose Bowl against East Penn. More high school football Frenzy after this.